get into around the world news update for today, the 14th of July 2025. Meet me upstage. Loser Tom Homan clashes with MS-13. Supporter in Tampa warns protesters of jail amid ICE crackdown. Tom Homan was interrupted during a speech in Tampa on Saturday when a protester shouted out asking if he was a member of MS-13, an international criminal gang formed by Salvadoran immigrants in the 1980s, prompting balls from the audience and a USA chant. This guy wouldn't know what it's like to serve his nation. This guy ain't got to be ICE officer. He hasn't got to be a border patrol agent. The guy lives in his mother's basement. Homan replied to the protester, "Get out of here, you loser, and if you're such, all right, meet me off stage in 30 minutes and 15 seconds, he added. Homan kept coming back to the topic of protesters during his speech repeatedly, warning that anyone physically interfering with or obstructing ICE officers, such as blocking, touching, or aiding undocumented immigrants, will be jailed without exception. If these protesters
You got morons like this all over the country. This guy wouldn't like the surface nation. This guy ain't got the balls to be an ICE officer. He hasn't got the balls to be a border patrol agent. This guy lives in his mother's basement. The only thing that surprises me, you don't have purple hair and a nose ring. Get out of here, you loser. And you're such a badass, meet me off stage in 13 minutes and 50 seconds. I guarantee you, he sits down to pee. That gentleman just standing here, he ain't got the balls to put a badge on and go stand there and take the criminals on. The men and women of ICE have a dangerous job already. I'm actually kind of happy right now. When I pulled into the event tonight, there was no protesters. I love protesters. I love them. My detail will tell you, if protesters don't show up, I'm extremely disappointed.
Trump joins Chelsea's club World Cup celebrations in New Jersey. U.S. President Donald Trump took center stage at MetLife Stadium on a Sunday, presenting Chelsea FC with the FIFA Club World Cup trophy after their emphatic 3-0 victory over Paris Saint-Germain in the final. Footage shows Trump being greeted by a roaring crowd as he joined FIFA President Gianni Infantino on stage. The president presented individual awards and medals to players before joining Chelsea's jubilant squad to lift the trophy amid the celebrations. The Blues secured their second Club World Cup title in history, defeating the French champions with a brace from Cole Palmer, a goal from new signing João Pedro. This inaugural edition of the expanded tournament format, June 14 to July 13, featured top-tier clubs from all 6 FIFA confederations, AFC, CAF, CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, OFC, and UEFA. Matches were held across 11 major U.S. cities, including Los Angeles, Miami, Atlanta, and New York, New Jersey. Hundreds of Chelsea fans celebrated outside Stamford Bridge after their team's impressive 3-0 victory over Paris Saint-Germain in the FIFA World Club Cup, with Cole Palmer scoring 2 goals and assisting another on Sunday. Footage captured supporters chanting Chelsea, waving flags and snapping photos as police condoned off-road to manage the swelling joyous crowd. The victory marked a remarkable underdog achievement. Entering the final, PSG boasted a formidable knockout stage record, demolishing Inter Miami, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid by a combined 10-0. Chelsea, meanwhile, navigated a tougher path, overcoming Benfica, Palmeiras, and Fluminense with an 8-2 aggregate score. Farmers 2 goals and new signing João Pedro's strike secured Chelsea their second FIFA Club Cup title. This inauguration edition of the expanded tournament, June 14 to July 13, featured champions from all 6 FIFA confederations, AFC, CAF, CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, or FC, UEFA, culminating in a memorable finale at MetLife Stadium. Flash floods ravage Catalonia as a search continues for 2 missing. An intense Dana storm battered parts of Catalonia on Saturday, unleashing torrential rains that triggered severe flooding across Penedès, Garraf, and Baix Llobregat. Search and rescue efforts are ongoing for 2 individuals reported missing amid the disaster. Footage filmed in the town of Syria shows a submerged vehicle in the Cadnera River. A civil protection alert broadcast can also be seen on mobile phone. Kubili's dramatic footage captured the Foix River bursting its banks after heavy rainfall, leading to severe flooding in the area. Authorities have launched a search and rescue operation for 2 individuals reported missing and possibly caught in the rising waters, trying to get help on the road while warning others. Local Zavi said a surge of water pushed us down the sloping road, which had turned into a river. We kicked out the windshield to escape. I grabbed my son. We made it to the fence. We reached the fence near that lorry. The girl was urging us to cross, but it was impossible. It really was a river, he added. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez urged the locals to be cautious and avoid unnecessary travel in 10 height alert regions due to ongoing heavy rains and storms. We are closely monitoring the situation in several communities with warnings for heavy rains and storms such as Rotten X. Announced that troops from the military emergency unit had been deployed to the neighboring region of Aragon. Meet first ever Miss Albinism Africa in powerful stride against stigma. Sierra Leone's Daniela Boima Garrick made history as she was crowned the first ever Miss Albinism Africa during a pageant held on June 28, 2025 in Zimbabwe's Harare. Footage filmed on Thursday in Freetown shows Garrick demonstrating a peasant walk while wearing her crown and sash and smiling to the camera. Mr. Albinism Africa's second runner-up, Hamida Mokarama, can also be seen in the video. My message to people who discriminated against me in the past or who currently discriminate against me or people with albinism in general is that I hope they've learned something, that we are more than just people with albinism. We're humans just like them, Garrick said. I hope they understand that people with albinism are beautiful humans and they have feelings and they should stop the discrimination, stigmatization and segregation as well, she added. Garrick 21 was much lauded out for her message of empowerment following her triumph. Sierra Leone's Minister of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, Nabela Tunis, commended her in a social media post, describing the pageant queen as a beacon of beauty, bravery, and inclusion. The crown event was a part of the first Mr. and Mrs. Albinism Africa contest, launched during the larger African Diversity Festival, which aims to raise awareness of neglected communities. 10 candidates from various countries participated in the event, run by the Albinism Dare to Dream initiative. According to pageant director Beata Nyamaya Yaro, this was a step toward constructive diversity.
It's a bittersweet experience from the inset and to the validation of efforts. Having the crown, it was difficult mentally, physically and emotionally, but with the support from others, family members, association and mentors, definitely we prevailed and our efforts went successfully. And we have the crown. I feel fulfilled, I feel happy, and I feel like I accomplished the main mission to represent Sierra Leone and to definitely represent the albinism community for especially women and girls with albinism in Sierra Leone. My message to people who discriminate me in the past or are currently discriminating me or who discriminates people with albinism in general, I hope they've learned something, that we are more than just people with albinism. We are humans just like them. We have potential just like anyone else. And if we are given the space to prevail, definitely we will show up and have a positive influence to contribute to something great in society. And I hope they understand that people with albinism are beautiful, are humans, and they have feelings, that they should stop the discrimination and stigmatization and segregation as well, because that deals with our mental health, and we are humans and we have rights.
So going into the pageantry also opened my eyes that persons with albinism can actually contribute, because we are the first to ever have gone out in pageantry and came home with victory of any sort. So that shows that we can actually contribute to nation's development through our different, areas of interest. So for pageantry, for example, we've sold out the country's name and people now want to visit. I have calls from numerous people, persons with albinism and the likes, delegates and the likes, that want to come to Sierra Leone to visit. So that's a win for the country, not only for persons with albinism. So it shows that the government should now, channel their focus on persons with albinism and see how best they can come in and, support our cause so that we will move forward. This achievement means a lot to me. To me, it's not only about me, but also the millions of people.
And lastly, in around the world news for this particular morning, Commission will investigate Ramaphosa on drug cartel links to Police Minister Law Enforcement. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced the formation of a Judicial Commission of Inquiry to investigate serious allegations of criminal infiltration within law enforcement and intelligence services, including claims implicating Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. In a national address on Sunday in Cape Town, Ramaphosa confirmed that Minister Mchunu would take a leave of absence with immediate effect while the investigation is underway. The commission will investigate allegations relating to the infiltration of law enforcement, intelligence and associated institutions within the criminal justice system by criminal syndicates, the president said. Ramaphosa noted that the inquiry would examine the role of current and former senior officials who may have either facilitated or ignored criminal activity or who may have profited politically or financially from such operations. The announcement follows public claims made by KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mankwanazi, who accused Mchunu and others of disbanding the political killings task team and interfering in police operations. Mkwanazi presented WhatsApp messages, police documents and phone records as evidence. Ramaphosa described the allegations as a threat to national security and the integrity of South Africa's justice system. The allegations, if proven true, threaten to undermine the confidence of South Africans in the ability of the South African Police Service to protect them and to effectively fight crime and corruption, he stated. The inquiry will be chaired by Acting Deputy Chief Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga, with a senior counsel Sisei Baloy and Sindile Kumalo appointed to assist. Ramaphosa also named Professor Firoz Kaushalia, a law academic and chair of the National Anti-Corruption Advisory Council, as the incoming Minister of Police. Kaushalia will assume the post in early August after retiring from the University of Witwatersrand. An acting minister will be appointed from within the cabinet in the interim. The president framed the move as part of ongoing efforts to rebuild trust and capacity within the country's law enforcement agencies. We end Around the World News Update. Good morning.
Criminal actions by law enforcement. Lieutenant Mukwanazi alleged that the Minister of Police allegedly interfered with sensitive police investigations and colluded with business people, including a murder accused, to disband the political killings task team based in KwaZulu-Natal. Lieutenant General Mukwanazi also said that a police investigation by the task team that was operating in Gauteng unmasked a syndicate controlled by a drug cartel, which involves politicians, law enforcement officials from the South African Police Service, Metro Police, Correctional Services, prosecutors, and the judiciary, as well as business people. The allegations made in this media briefing raise serious concern around our Constitution, the rule of law, and national security. These allegations, if proven true, threaten to undermine the confidence of South Africans in the ability of the South African Police Service to protect them and to effectively fight crime and corruption. I'm establishing a judicial commission of inquiry that will be chaired by Acting Deputy Chief Justice Mbuyisile Madlanga. Justice Madlanga will be assisted by Advocate Sesi Baloyi, Senior Counsel, and Advocate Sandile Khumalo, Senior Counsel. The Commission will investigate allegations relating to the infiltration of law enforcement, intelligence, and associated institutions within the criminal justice system by criminal syndicates. Among the allegations that the Commission may investigate are the facilitation of organized crime, suppression or manipulation of investigations, inducement into criminal actions by law enforcement leadership, commission of any other criminal offenses, and intimidation, victimization or targeted removal of whistleblowers or officials that are resisting criminal influence. The Commission will investigate the role of current or former senior officials in certain institutions who may have aided or abetted the alleged criminal activity, or failed to act on credible intelligence or internal warnings, or benefited financially or politically from a syndicate's operations. I have decided to put the Minister of Police, Mr. Senzo Mkhunu, on leave of absence with immediate effect. The Minister has undertaken to give his full cooperation to the Commission to enable it to work properly. I have decided to appoint Professor Firoz Kachalia as Acting Minister of Police. Professor Kachalia is currently a Professor of Law at the University of the Witwatersrand and is the Chairperson of the National Anti-Corruption Advisory Council. He previously served as an MEC of Community Safety in Gauteng. I'm appointing Professor Kachalia in terms of Section 91(3) subsection C of the Constitution, which empowers the Constitution to select no more than 2 ministers from outside the National Assembly. Professor Kachalia will be retiring from his current position at the University of Witwatersrand at the end of July this year. I will, in the interim, appoint an acting minister from within Cabinet until Professor Kachalia takes up his post at the beginning of August. The interregnum, therefore, will just be just a little over 2 weeks. This commission is being established against the backdrop of significant progress that has been made in rebuilding and strengthening our country's law enforcement agencies and security services.
From the foothills of Lukenya in Kenya, in